Hey, g'day, and welcome to Vegas. Welcome to Drive Time. And today we're going to chat about building yourself to build your business. So many times I see entrepreneurs who aren't willing to grow, or business owners who aren't willing to grow, and yet they want their business to grow. The only way for your business to grow, and I'll get into the 5 ways to actually do this in a little bit, but the only way to see real growth in your business is see real growth in yourself and your people. So, unless you're willing to learn and grow, don't expect your business to learn and grow. It's not a complex thing, but it's too easy for us to sit back and want to see business growth without actually looking for personal growth. If you want to see growth in your team, if you want to see growth in your numbers, if you want to see growth in any area of the business, your desire to grow has to be as strong as your desire to see the business grow. Now, I remember when I was first in business, and I didn't know that much. I didn't know really what I was doing and how I was supposed to do it and all that sort of stuff. But I eventually had to learn the fact that until I grew, the business couldn't grow. Until I got better, the business didn't get easier. And it's one of those simple statements, but it's so very true in that if I grow, the business can grow. If I don't grow, the business can't grow. And to put that even more bluntly, your business grows to your level of incompetence. Once you run out of ideas, once you run out of strategies, once you run out of concepts of how to grow the business, then the business stops growing. And so let's look at the 5 ways you can act. Oh, thanks for typing in where you're at. Gulnar, good to see you joining the drive today. Let's see where we're driving to. Type in the city you're in or the country you're in so we know where the drive is going today. So let's get down to some basic fundamentals around this, okay? And that is this. If the business is struggling in any area, it's because there's a lack of knowledge in that area. So let's imagine it's struggling in marketing because you're not bringing in enough new business and you're not getting enough repeat business. And so the marketing aspect is struggling. Well, that then tells you, hey, we've got a lack of knowledge in marketing. And it could be your lack of knowledge, or it could be a simple fact that you haven't employed anyone in marketing to be able to do that stuff. You haven't actually got the people in your team that are marketing knowledge base, So first way we can improve the business is to train ourselves, okay? For us as the owner to get better. Now, you don't have to get to a point where you know everything about it. Like, I don't have to be a genius at social media marketing. All I have to do is know enough to ask the right questions of someone I'm going to employ or someone I already have employed to get them to answer those questions, if that makes sense. So I've got to have someone that is a genius. I don't need to necessarily be the genius. Second way is you can employ the knowledge base, okay? So you can actually go out there, and once you know enough to ask the right questions, because if you don't know anything about, let's say, sales, right? You've got no experience in sales. You don't know anything about it. You've never read any books on sales. You've never even done a sales call yourself. How are you going to know if the person you're recruiting is any good at sales? That's sort of a big challenge with what we're looking at. By the way, if you're new to Drive Time, at the end of this, we type in what we're going to do differently or what our biggest lesson is based on the drive. So we get to an action point. The company's called ActionCOACH. It's not called, gee, nice drive, coach. So you've got to take a look at the fact that you can employ knowledge base, okay? So if you're no good at it, employ people who are geniuses at it. I was listening to a buddy of mine speak the other day, and he had a guy come and pick his brain about business. And all the guy asked him was, who's the best in the world at this? And who's the best in the world at that? And if you find the people who are the best in the world at a particular thing, and you recruit them or you use them as consultants for your company, then hey presto, your company is doing best in the world type thing. So that's the thing. Yeah, make sure you type in where you're at. Good to see. You want to see how many countries, how many continents we get to on the drive today. So think of it this way. If you grow, or if the people in your organization grow, then things get better. So that's our third point. You can train better knowledge base. So you can bring in trainers, you can bring in online learning, you can read books, you can have audio books, you can have all this sort of stuff. You can use updated software that allows you better knowledge base or better information in your organization. But you can train better knowledge into the company. And if the people grow, you or your staff, and that's why coaching works. So good to see you up at 5 a.m. there in New Zealand. The Kiwis are up bright and early. Those here in America, it's only 8 a.m. here in Vegas. Obviously on the East Coast, it's not a little bit, but good to see the Europeans still as well. I'm not sure the Australians will be awake just yet, but anyway, they'll get to watch this later on. Good to see the Irish are here, the Northern Irish are here. Eamon, how you doing? So think of it this way, right? If the people in the organization grow, starting with you, then the organization can grow. If the people in the organization don't grow, then the organization can't grow, because there's no knowledge that'll take you past that. It's like when you're recruiting, always recruit someone that is overqualified. If you recruit someone who's either just qualified or underqualified, you've either got to coach them and do that. I want someone, if I've got a $10 million a year business and I'm recruiting a new CEO, I want to recruit a CEO who's run a $50 million a year business before. And hey, presto, that's what works. You know, it's not complex, because then they can take my $10 million a year business and turn it into a $50 million a year business. The challenge for a lot of business owners is you've never run a business bigger than the one you're running, so you don't know how to run a business bigger than the one you're running. So that's where we got to recruit in knowledge, bring in consultants, outside knowledge, training knowledge, all that aspects for it. Fourth way that we can grow you know, is we've got to learn from what's going on out there. We got to learn from our customers. We got to learn from suppliers. We got to learn from all the different people we interact with on a day-to-day basis. You know, your customers are sometimes the best teachers for your business. Your customers will tell you what's wrong, what's right. Your customers will tell you that, but only if you're willing to watch what's going on, only if you're willing to grasp what they're saying to you, can you actually move forward with that sort of thing. Hey, we're in Mauritius today. And Bobby, good to see Chicago's on the drive. We're driving to a lot of places today on drive time. It's good to see. So ultimately, if you sit back and start thinking about growing the business, it's not a speedy way to grow it with knowledge base, but it can be if you recruit the knowledge or bring in consultants, bring in the best in the world at a particular thing, then you can grow the business a lot faster because you've added knowledge base that grows it a whole lot faster. Fifth and final point I want to make on this, okay? If you're not growing, okay, if you're not learning and not stuff, it doesn't mean the business stays still. In fact, it does the opposite of that. If you personally are not growing, then the market is beating you. Then the market is shifting around you. Status quo doesn't exist in business. A business is either growing or it's dying. So you've got to be growing. You've got to be learning. You've got to be doing that. There is no option to not learn, okay? So if you're stuck on what to learn, you know I got all the books. You can jump on my 30X programs. You can chat to an action coach. There's one in 83 countries around the world, so there's got to be one near you. But take a look at it and understand that your growth determines your business's growth. If you stop growing and you start stagnating, then the business stops growing, the business starts stagnating. And stagnation in business leads to death. So keep your business growing, keep coming back to Drive Time. What is your biggest lesson? Type it in now. What's the biggest lesson, or what is the action you're going to take based on this drive? Look forward to chatting to you again soon. Bye for now.